So let's come sliding back. Hopefully you have something cozy to sit on. Hope you had a nice weekend. Tapping into the new normal, at least for now. And let's close our eyes, palms face down on the knees, and let's take a few mindful breaths. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Inhale through the nose. And exhale. Let those shoulders drop away from the ears. Just feel that tension softening. Feel the neck lengthening. Feel the chin gently tucked toward the chest, so you're creating length in the back of the neck, and the spine elongates. 2 more breaths. Inhale. And exhale. Last time, in through the nose. And exhale. All right, gently blink the eyes open. All right. And let's rub the hands together, getting ready to tune in with the Adi mantra. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. I bow to the divine teacher within. We're setting sacred space through vibration. We're calling on our soul, our deepest connection to our highest wisdom, and we're also calling on saints and sages who've been practicing this technology for thousands of years before us. Through vibration, we can connect to them beyond space and time. Let's bring the thumbs into the sternum. The sound is Om Namo Gurudev Namo. I bow to the divine teacher within. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose and exhale. Let's chant this mantra 3 times through. Take a deep inhale to begin. Om Gurudev 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 Namo. Take a deep inhale. Engage root lock, third eye focus, suspend the breath. And exhale. Keep the eyes closed, keep the hands at the heart-centered position, and let's chant the Mangala Charan mantra. This is a mantra of protection, a mantra of surrender. If you don't know the mantra, just listen, open your ears and receive the blessing. This mantra helps us connect to that divine flow, that divine law of the universe, generate, organize, and transform. Generate, organize, and destroy. Things come into being, they exist, and then they transform. We as human beings, the more we can surrender into this divine flow of the universe, the less suffering and less resistance and grasping we experience. Let's take a deep breath into the nose to begin. Ar Gure Name, Jugar Gure Name, Sri Gurudev Name. Ar Gure Name. Jugar Gure Name. Sat Gure Name. Sri Gurudev Name. Ar Gure Name. Jugar Gure Name. Sat Gure Name. Sri Gurudev Name. Take a deep breath into the nose. Then suspend the breath, root lock, third eye focus. And exhale, release. Palms face up on the knees. Shoulders away from the ears, chin gently tucks toward the chest, and extend long through the crown of the head, creating length in the spine. And gently blink the eyes open. Good morning, guys. Good to see you. Good to have you in class. Happy to be here. Man, I'll tell you, thank God for yoga, right? Thank God for teaching yoga. Thank God for practicing yoga. It just brings you right back into balance, or at least a little bit more balanced than you were beforehand. Today's class is going to be focused on cleansing the subconscious mind, or clearing, purging the subconscious mind. You hear a lot in, mainstream society and in, our general yogic and Kundalini yoga community about the benefits of meditation for your health, happiness, stability, all of these things, your ability to be your most high and authentic self, and your ability to transform and evolve. And mostly because meditating and practicing certain yogic techniques that bring you into a meditative space help clear the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind can be overburdened, just like an overflowing trash can, and the more overflowing things can be, it spills out into and out of the receptacle that it's intended to store. And much the same holds true when it comes to the subconscious mind. So I invite you to either begin your Sufi circles now as I chat, or you can bring them in again as we start the warm-up after my Dharmic chat. So there's a 4-cycle pressure acting on our subconscious mind. A thought arises. That thought creates a feeling. And either that thought goes into the subconscious, or the feeling becomes an emotion. And either that feeling goes into the subconscious mind, or the emotion becomes a desire. And either that emotion goes into the subconscious mind, or the desire becomes fulfilled or is fulfilled. And any unfulfilled desire goes into the subconscious mind. So you can see how from the point of thought to the point of fulfilling desire, there's a 4-cycle pressure that goes on here. And in each stage of that cycle, information can be dumped into the subconscious mind or further progressed into action. So you can imagine, think about all the thoughts that you have in the course of the day, right? And how that 4-cycle pressure is imposed upon it, and how things can either get dumped into the subconscious mind or carry out into the execution or action of a desire. So we start to get really overburdened in the subconscious mind. And when the subconscious mind is overloaded, it unloads into the unconscious. And the unconscious is a very small sphere of the mind. And when it unloads into the subconscious mind, we then lose our capacity for presence. We lose our capacity to think clearly and use our intelligence. All of those capacities fall by the wayside when our subconscious mind dumps into the unconscious. And as I mentioned, that unconscious mind is a very small sphere. So the capacity for the unconscious to hold what is being dumped in from the subconscious is very limited. And when the unconscious is full, it unloads into the conscious mind, right? So that's our everyday, our ability to be present and fully accounted for, right? And when it dumps into the conscious mind, it becomes polluted, and then our life in presence becomes a manifestation of daydreams and nightmares, right? We're living in fantasy and fear all the time. There's no presence or a very small capacity to live in presence. So as you can see, clearing the subconscious mind really benefits not only the subconscious behaviors that we have, but our unconscious drives and our ability to be present in our conscious mind. Slowing the brain waves, as we do in yogic practice, takes us out of that neocortex, the frontal lobe, the thinking brain, and brings us into the midbrain, the limbic system, where the autonomic nervous system resides, right? The sort of operation of the autonomic nervous system. And the autonomic nervous system is what creates order and balance in the body. It's where the hypothalamus, pituitary, and pineal glands are. It allows healing, and it allows for the clearing of the subconscious mind. And it brings us into expanded, divergent abilities to see beyond our current problems, the current boundaries in which we find ourselves in, right? Like, I have this problem, what are my options? When we can get into the midbrain, into where these hypothalamus, pituitary, and pineal glands are, when we can get into this functionality with the autonomic nervous system, we can start to see beyond our problems and evolve into a higher state of consciousness to address them more mindfully. Let's inhale, hold center, and exhale, reverse the direction. So we're going to do a little meditation, we're going to do a Kriya set, and we're going to chant our mantra today. And all of the work today that we're going to do is going to help us purge and clear the subconscious mind. And for those of you who tend to really love getting into the heat of Kundalini yoga, I'm an Aries, I love doing that. Today is going to be a little bit more sedate in the amount of energy that we move, but the amount of focus and discipline that you're going to need to apply will call to order that element that you tend to like with Kundalini yoga. Let's inhale, pull the heart forward, exhale, round the back, and let's get some music going while we move through our warm-up. For those of you who are on my email list, you received this week's mantra, which is going to be long ek onkars today and all for the rest of the week. So that should be pretty cool. All right. Here we go. Inhale, exhale. If you're newer to Kundalini yoga, know that we tend to practice mostly with the eyes closed in order to turn inward and gain insight and introspection. This helps us experience the energetic shifts and tap more intimately into our internal nature, our drives, our resistances, our graspings. As we're presented with this sacred technology of Kundalini yoga. And keeping in mind, after the tuning in process, knowing now that we're in sacred space, calling in all the healing, all the clearing of the subconscious that's going to serve to the benefit of you and all people you interact with. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, lift. Exhale, drop the shoulders away from the ears. Hands come onto the shoulders. I'm going to inhale, twist left. Exhale, twist right. Navel's drawn into the spine, and I'm rotating at the waist. Realigning the vertebrae of the spine, bringing out low body glands and organs, helping to stimulate the release of any energetic blockages in the low triangle of consciousness. That's first, second, and third chakra. These areas are where the majority of our pranic life force energy resides, and therefore where the majority of our energetic blocks tend to exist. So let's really energize and liberate that area of the body through these twists and nice Deep breath, the eyes are drawn up to third eye center. Good. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, come center, reach the arms high. And exhale, cycle those arms down around the side of the body. We're gonna do some auric sweeps. Doing some lateral extension through the spine, opening up through the side body and the intercostal muscles and the ribs. Deepening the capacity for the lungs and breathing down deep into the lower lobes of the lungs. We're tonifying kidneys, liver, gallbladder here, so really wringing out some of those organs, bringing in refreshed, oxygenated blood into those areas. Large and small intestine are getting some massage here. Keep moving through, nice and strong, powerful breath. Opening up the channels, the energy channels of the body. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, reach it up. And exhale, hands come down. I'd like to do a few energizing exercises before we get into our Kriya set today, just to move some energy. So the first thing we're gonna do, let me move my little pillow here, is extend the legs out straight, shake them out. And I'm going to inhale, lift, and you can also have a bend in the knees here too if the low back is tight or if the hamstrings are tight. Wherever you are with the legs, the feet are activated and flexed. I'm gonna inhale, exhale, reach. Inhale, lift, exhale, reach. Inhale, lift, exhale, reach. Let's just go for 5, 4, navel's pulled to the spine, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bow, grab onto the big toes if you can. Press onto the big toenail to activate the high glands in the brain. Again, knees can be bent here. Key here is nice flat spines. We don't want to be rounded. We want to be nice and flat through the spine. I'm going to inhale, lift. Exhale, bow. We're energizing the life nerve here in the back of the leg. We know this as our sciatic nerve. Yogic science knows this as the nerve associated with longevity and a very happy, long, healthy, lived life. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, lift. Reach the arms forward and come laying down onto the back. We're going to do stretch pose as our last and final warm-up exercise. So my legs are going to be extended, my arms are reaching forward, and my low back is pressed strong to the bottom of the mat. That's the mat. Now, if you have a low back challenge, you can put the hands under the glutes. If you have some challenge in the hip flexors and quads and low back, you can alternate between legs. If you're tender in the neck, you can either wrap the hands behind the back of the neck or ground the head in general. We're going to begin breath of fire, which is a pumping breath through the navel center. If you are pregnant or on your moon cycle, please instead do long, deep breathing. Here we go. Liberating some energy in that navel center. This is where the life force energy really sits and lives. All the muscles in the legs and the arms and the abdomen engaged. Move through the challenge. Ten more seconds. Inhale. Suspend, engage. And exhale. Release, relax, shake it out, release any tension, and allow that energy to move through you. Maybe put your hand on the belly, feel your pulse. In the belly center, that's a good sign that you have stabilized and sort of cleared that navel point energy. All right, knees come into the chest. Let's rock it up, seated cross-leg position. Now, a lot of our work today is going to be with cross-leg, because we're going to be working on the higher chakras, okay? So if at any point in time sitting in cross-leg position becomes a little uncomfortable for you, please feel free to shake your legs out, do what you gotta do to get yourself into a position where you feel serene, okay? Now, we're gonna do a little fun meditation, and this meditation is called the Butterfly Kriya. This is before we actually get into the Kitara Kriya that we're going to do today, that helps us clear the subconscious mind. And this is a little meditation that does exactly the same thing. Let's see what we got here. Synchronizes the mind, attention, action, and perception. So this is a really interesting set in that we're going to be doing a little movement with the hand. And this is where the butterfly name came from. The base of my palms will be joined and my thumbs will be joined. My hands are going to be far apart, you know, as far spread as they can, kind of like the wings of a bird. And I'm going to, in the pattern of movement, slap, 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 slap. Just clapping my hands in a very repetitive motion. Eyes are drawn up to third eye center. We're going to do some long, deep breathing with this. The breath is patterned with the movement. Eyes are drawn up to third eye center. And remember, while you're doing this, the mind is going to wander. There's going to be a part of you that wants to be distracted, that wants to entertain other thoughts. And I encourage you, when you notice thoughts coming up, rein yourself right back into this present moment with this activity, okay? This is where yogic focus comes into play here. This stuff is not easy, right? Sometimes those challenging things, those are easy because it's easy to stay in presence and focus with that because it's visceral throughout the full body. With this, it's much more subtle and it requires a heightened level of presence and awareness. That's where the pattern of the breath comes in, okay? So here we go. And try not to go too fast because you don't want the hands to cramp. Let that clapping of the hands serve as a rhythm in your mind. It almost sounds like the sound hud, 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 hud. And if it's helpful for you, chant mentally, hud, 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 hud. Be at peace in your body, be at peace in your breath. As I've mentioned many, many times in class, the fingers, specifically index, middle, ring, and pinky, have association with the four lobes of the brain. So the stimulation of the hands and this repetitive clapping of the fingers is kind of resetting the brain. And that's why keeping it in a nice, regular pattern rhythm is helpful. Notice an inclination to tense your hands and your forearms. Keep it relaxed, keep it even. Staying with the breath. You guys got this. Use the higher self to manage the fluctuations of the mind. Stay in presence. Try not to jump into the past or the future. Minute left. Long, even, deep breathing. Last 30 seconds, stay in it. And take a deep breath in through the nose. Spread those hands. Inhale. Root lock, third eye focus. And exhale. Hands remain at the heart center, thumbs at the sternum, chin to the chest. Gently blink the eyes open. All right, good job. Right, some of these subtler exercises can be more challenging than the really hard driving visceral ones because it requires such an extreme presence of mind, and it really requires you to step up to battle toe to toe with your ego. Right, that part of yourself that wants to escape, that's frustrated, that's impatient, that's irritated. And the more you can, and the more we can, come into presence with that experience and practice and practice and practice, reframing our response, our reaction to it, the better we are in relation to the ego. The more we can see it as separate, the more we can rise above it and witness it and rein it in. So this Kriya, Pitta Kriya, is a Kriya that helps clear the subconscious, and it does a lot of work for the glandular system, the chakra system, and the nervous system. So the first part of the Kriya is going to be focusing on the glandular system and the organs. The second exercise focuses on clearing the chakras, and the third exercise focuses on balancing the parasympathetic and the sympathetic nervous system. And for those of you who've been in class with me before on site, you know that the smaller the set, the longer the time in the set. So it is called that each of these three we do for about 11 minutes or so. So again, it's going to be, you know, not so challenging to the physical body, but more challenging to your ability to stay focused, okay? So bear witness to the part of yourself that doesn't want to, that wants to entertain thoughts, that wants to think about lunch, that wants to step away and go grab a snack, you know? Because that microcosm that we're experiencing in this Kriya set is reflective of a macrocosm of our inability to focus and pay attention in our larger span of our lives, okay? So consider this as a little experiment and do your best to stay in focus. Now, this next Kriya set, my left hand is going to be on my heart and my right elbow is going to be bent in a 90-degree angle with my palm kind of cupped, like I'm holding something in my hand. And like I'm throwing water over the back of my shoulder, my elbow comes up in line with the temple here. So this is not as far as you're going. You really want that elbow to reach up right to the temple and let that hand pass by the ear. So it's an inhale and an exhale. Inhale and an exhale. And we're going to be doing this for a good 11 minutes or so, okay? And it says here that this exercise impacts the kidney energy, the chi of the kidney meridian. It works on the adrenals, the lungs, and the central line, the Shushmana, the central channel. It makes you very relaxed, and it wipes away inner mental and physical tension, okay? So I invite you to really soften the shoulders. And the eyes in all three of these Kriya sets will be at the tip of the nose. And you don't need to keep the eyes open. You just want that energy of the eye focus drawn together and down at the tip of the nose. Okay? Here we go. Left hand on the heart, sorry, right hand is in the bent position, cupped hand, breathing through the nose. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. And envision yourself cleansing yourself. Envision this as your interaction with the water element. Throwing that water over your shoulder, metaphorically baptizing yourself here. Cleansing the subconscious mind. Repetitive, balanced movements. And know that this particular series of movements is affecting the lungs. It's affecting the kidney chi, the kidney energy. So trust that although this is very subtle, very relaxing, and perhaps even to you maybe boring, there is so much science and medicine and healing in this exercise. So really put all your focused attention, love, and faith in what you're doing here. Eyes are at the tip of the nose. Left hand is on the heart. Right hand is sweeping elbow up toward the temple and back down. Stay committed, stay balanced, stay present. Cleansing yourself with that metaphorical shower of the water. Using that water element to cleanse the subconscious mind. Eyes stay focused at the tip of the nose. And be in serenity with me here. Keep with it, guys. Keep moving that shoulder. Keep sweeping that energy overhead. Acknowledge that you're coming up against the ego. The ego is trying to set you off course. Not of any nefarious intention, but just that's its job. And we're trying to instead employ the higher self, the higher witnessing consciousness, and create neural pathways that enable that higher witnessing conscious to step forward above and beyond that compulsion of the ego to offset balance and harmony. And this requires training. This requires practice. And this is what we're doing. Employing those activities that allow that higher self to step forward, to circumvent the compulsions of the ego, and create new neural pathways toward a more constant, present-minded access. You got it, guys. Just a few more minutes. 2 to be exact. Stay with me. Bear witness to those compulsive, easily distracted parts of yourself and rein it in. This is our work as yogis. Inhale, exhale. Last minute and a half. Stay in it. Stay focused. Distracting ourselves with anything and everything is actually very easy to do. But disallowing distraction and remaining on this constant trajectory toward presence is extremely hard work. This is where we do it. This is where we train ourselves. Last 30 seconds. Keep that breath strong. Constantly being in the now, 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 now. Good. Last 10 seconds. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Keep those eyes at the tip of the nose. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now inhale, elbow up next to the temple, suspend the breath. Root lock, third eye focus. Exhale, release. Again, inhale. Suspend. Exhale one more time. Inhale. And exhale, release. Palms face up on the knees. Amazing work, guys. That is not easy stuff. Congratulate yourselves. This is how we come to know thyself, right? Constantly put ourselves up against the ego in a way that the ego cannot stand, in the way that the ego constantly fights. And we just stay right back in it. This is the spiritual warrior. All right, gently blink your eyes open. Now the next two, you're going to be thankful because they involve an audible mantra. So it's going to help you stay present in the work a little bit more easily. Now, this first one is really fun. I love it. The elbows are tight into the body, and I'm going to be holding my middle finger with the thumb pressing down onto the middle fingernail. The rest of the fingers are extended forward. And I'm going to chant the sound hud, hud, hud as I flick, flick, flick my finger. So we're really stimulating the Saturn finger here, okay? This exercise is said to balance the 7 chakras. And it's asking you to strike the upper palate. When you say hud, 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 H-A-R, but it sounds like a D. You're hitting the tip of the tongue up to the roof of the mouth, right behind the front teeth. And that's stimulating meridian channels that activate hypothalamus and pituitary glands. This is revitalizing the gray matter in the brain, okay? Now, again, we have, I don't know, about 7 to 8 minutes of this, all right? Eyes again, closed and focused at the tip of the nose. I hope you guys are having a good time with this. And if you're not, sink into it even deeper, right? Because this is sometimes not fun. This yogic work can be very challenging to the ego. All right, here we go. Hud, 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 hud. Flicking that middle finger, letting the tongue hit the roof of the mouth as you chant. Eyes are focused at the tip of the nose. Hud, 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 hud. Strong, clear sound from the navel, the heart, and the throat. Hud, 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 hud. Don't just do it, become it. Every part of your being is flicking your middle finger, is staring at the tip of the nose, is chanting hud, 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 louder, more powerful. Hot, hot, hot. It's the sound that clears the chakras. The movement from navel up to crown. Hot, 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 hot. Good. Hot, 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 recommit, hot, 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 eyes at the tip of the nose, strong flick of the finger, strong chant of hot, 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 wiping the slate of that subconscious mind. Hot, 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 excuse me, hot, 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 hot. Allow it to hypnotize you. Hot, hot. Imagine all the people in class, everyone here, everyone's sound resonating together. We're joining together. Hot, 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 hot. 2 more minutes. Hot, 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 hot. Tip of the nose. Strong flick of the finger. Strong chant of hot. Stay in presence. Hot, 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 hot. Last 30 seconds. Hot, 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 Now inhale, suspend the breath and flick those fingers really fast. Flick, flick, flick. Keep the breath held, eyes drawn up. And exhale. And rest. Interesting stuff, right? These kriyas that we do for longer periods of time really meet you up against yourself. And I'd be interested to know, after this last kriya and after class is over, some of the experiences that you guys have had today. Even if it's frustration, even if it's like, I just wanted to get out of there. That's medicine, right? Even recognizing that and continuing to move through it, that's medicine, right? That's where you start to become the master of your domain. That's where you start to use your higher self in dominion over the lower self. All right, the last part of the set is an exercise that strengthens the auric field, right, that energy field around the body, and balances the sympathetic and the parasympathetic nervous system. This is the part of the autonomic nervous system that goes from fight or flight to rest and digest. And we tend to be chronically stuck in fight or flight, and rest and digest forgets how to happen. So through these exercises where we strengthen the nervous system and balance out the parasympathetic and the sympathetic, the two can flow more fluidly like animals in nature, right? They could be literally running for their lives and then 5 minutes later they're grazing. That is how we want to be, right? Because when we're running for our lives, we just think we are. We have deadlines and things like that. So let's use this set to employ that. Now, my arms are going to be up at a kind of 60-degree angle. And I'm going to chant Hud, 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 Hud. Now this is going to bring you into contact with some of that visceral experience in the shoulders. Okay, and I ask you to bear witness to whether it is actual injury that you need to employ some self-care about, or whether it's a part of you that is actually creating tension. And if you just relax and allow that energy to move through your hands and fingers, can you dissipate some of this blocked energy that you may be feeling in the shoulder that could be a manifestation of heart blockages and throat blockages, right? Blockages in these two chakra centers can be cleared out through this. And if you just allow that tension to relax, it enables that process. All right? Same mantra again, same focus, eyes at the tip of the nose. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose. Here we go. Hud, 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 Hud. No bend in the elbows, nice and straight, 60 degrees, fingers are straight. Hud, Hud, very robotic. Hud, 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 Hud. Shoulders away from the ears. Strong chant in the navel. Eyes at the tip of the nose. Hud, 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 Hud. Strengthen that resolve. Notice if you are allowing thoughts of weakness, thoughts of defeat enter the mind. Instead, thoughts of resilience, thoughts of victory, thoughts of empowerment. Hud, Hud, and notice how that transforms the energy in the body. Hud, 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 hot, 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 hot. The more engaged you are in the forearms, bicep, tricep, the less pain you'll feel in the shoulder. Let all the muscles of your arms contribute to this exercise. Hot, 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 hot. Now let's pick up the pace of the arms. Hot, 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 hot. Eyes at the tip of the nose. Keep chanting. Powerful. Strong. Move that energy. Hot, 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 hot. Instead of going softer and easier on yourself, commit further, strengthen, re-energize, empower. Hot, 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 hot. This is how we strengthen the nervous system, upgrading its ability to withstand. Hot, 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 hot. And then we become more resilient, less effective. Hot, 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 hot. 2 more minutes. Stay with me. Re-energize, recommit, strengthen that nervous system. Train yourself. Hot, 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 hot. Minute left, guys. You got this. Stay strong. Stay empowered. Hot, 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 hot. Channel that energy out through the fingers. Hot, hot. Last 30 seconds. Hot, 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 hot. Good, now take a deep inhale. Suspend the breath and cross the arms on held breath. Exhale. Inhale. Suspend. Cross the arms on held breath. Last time. Exhale. Inhale. Suspend. Cross the arms on held breath. And exhale. Soften the arms, chin to the chest, roll the shoulders back, palms face up on the knees. Wonderful job. Each of these sets was just a little under 11 minutes. Full Kriya calls for 11 minutes for each, but in order to make mindful use of today's class time, I had to cut it short a little bit, but I'm sure you got everything you needed out of those 3 sets. Hopefully the mind is clear. Energy feels alive and moving in the body. And before we come down into Savasana, I'd like to chant our weekly mantra. Those are long Ekonkars. And if you're on my email list, you did receive the notification of this mantra. I don't know if that's stable. Ekonkara, Satanama, Siriwa, Heguru. This is a very sacred mantra. We call them morning calls is in addition to long Ekonkars. And this mantra is known as the Ashtang mantra for the Aquarian age. The Aquarian age on the Vedic calendar began in 2011. And this is the beginning of a new age of consciousness, as the ancient Vedics predicted. Every hundreds of thousands of years, we go through these constant cycles, and we're back into the Aquarian age. And it's believed that humanity goes through cycles of time. So we are not the first inhabitants of this planet as humans through these cycles of consciousness, as the ancient Vedics suggest. This mantra opens the solar plexus, which charges the solar centers. The person who chants this mantra will get connected with cosmic energy and thus be liberated from the cycle of karma. And karma is just our unconscious behaviors or subconscious patterns that bring us into constant patterns that are not serving to us, right? A lack of presence, a lack of awareness, right? That can either be carried over through lineages, right? Even into the genetic code, certain behaviors, certain practices, certain tendencies. And these mantras are said to kind of shake up and neutralize the system in a way that helps us remove some of these karmic patterns. So we're going to be in Gyan Mudra, palms face up, index finger and thumb join. And the way the mantra runs, Ekonkar, sorry, wrong mantra, long Ekonkars. Ekonkar, Satnam, Siri, Wahe Guru. So this mantra, I'm thinking of last week's mantra. Ek Om Sat Na City. Move it up to the throat. Wa Hey Guru. Let the energy cycle out and be reabsorbed. So Ek Om Kar resonates at the navel center. Sat Nam resonates at the heart center. City brings it right up to the throat. Wa Hey Guru channels it out through the crown of the head. All right, we're running short on time here. All right, here we go. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Ek Om Sat Nam. City. What? Hey Guru. 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 Take a deep breath into the nose. Suspend the breath, root lock, third eye. And exhale, release. Gently shake the legs out. Come laying down on the back. Feet and thighs turn out natural. Palms face up next to the hips. Shoulders down away from the ears. And allow yourself a few moments for Savasana, which is a very helpful and necessary part of all yogic practice. It allows all the energy to assimilate, allows the nervous system to reset. So please take the time. Gently wiggling your fingers and your toes. Draw your knees into your chest. Wrap your forearms around your shins and rock from side to side. And roll onto one side into fetal position. Gently use that top hand to press yourself up seated. Cross-leg position, hands at the heart center. May the long-time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the light within you guide your way on. Let's close out with one long vibrational sound of the mantra, Satanam, declaring truth is my identity. Truth is our identity. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Take a full deep breath in through the nose. Suspend the breath, bringing folded hands to third eye center, blessing that you'll be guided by intuition and have the wisdom and courage to follow it. Exhale, bowing forward, Satnam, Namaste. Inhale, rise. Blinking the eyes open.